First real no-hitter in Major League Baseball happened 2 nights ago. Reid Detmers, the LA Angels, no-hit the Tampa Bay Rays in a 12-0 game in which Anthony Rendon hit a home run left-handed. Brett Phillips was the pitcher when that happened, and Noah Syndergaard subtweeted his former team. That was awesome. It was full of drama. Jack McMullen, Peter Apple's Baseball Show, Thursday, May 12th.
Jack, do you know that I was on Ray's money line that night?
Yeah, I know.
I think that was the single worst bet I've ever made in my entire life when you think about it, because not only was I so incorrect just by the final score of 12-0, but I said pretty clearly, wow, the Rays can really hit left-handed pitching. Not only did they not hit left-handed pitching, they got no hit by a rookie. He's not really a rookie because we saw him a little bit last year, but it was an incredible game, just the opposite of what I needed, but otherworldly incredible performance by Reid Detmers.
Yeah. So Reid Detmers, I've known for a little bit. It was summer of 2018. I was out in the Cape. I was calling games for the Brewster Whitecaps. And after his freshman year at Louisville, Reid Detmers spent the summer with the Brewster Whitecaps. So I got to know Reid pretty well out there, had some good conversations out there. And then as soon as COVID hit, like March, April of 2020, me and a friend of mine, Tommy Weber, who is an associate professor at St. John's at the moment. He was the bench coach for Brewster, and he still trains a bunch of guys in New York, New Jersey. We launched this prospect podcast where we talked to some of the recent draftees, and it was a shoe-in that we go and grab Reid Detmers. So I unearthed that. We did that interview about 2 weeks after he got drafted 10th overall. It's pretty fucking fun to go back and, in hindsight, hear this guy's pitching philosophy and how that draft went for him and how he has developed as a pitcher with that pitch mix, because Reid Detmers was not a guy that you circled and said, this guy could throw a no-hitter tonight. I mean, he has been hit relatively hard in the early goings of the season.
He had 3 walks, or no, he had 2 walks or 3 walks in the no-hitter game, but I think he had almost as many walks as strikeouts, but his command was impeccable yesterday. And that's really where he makes his money, on the command. But we're talking about Reid Detmers' development since 2020. How about your development as a podcast host? How do you think
I sound developed? So weird, dude? I sound so weird in that, like, my voice is way higher. My questions are not as pointed. It's very interesting. But final line on Reid Detmers in the no-hitter. It was a 12-0 win for Anaheim over the Rays. Detmers, obviously 9 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 punch-outs, 1 walk. Through 108 pitches, 68 for strikes. 2 strikeouts and 1 walk in a no-hitter.
That kind of sounds like an Edwin Jackson no-hitter, but 100%. A no-hitter regardless.
Yeah, 100%. But no, I mean, this guy has impeccable command, and something that we get into is his ability to utilize 3 speeds with the fastball, the changeup, and the curveball. And if you saw the final out clipped and put out on social media, it was that big curveball. And I don't remember if I brought this up with him or not, but just a quick story before we launch into some other things. Dan McDonnell is the head coach of Louisville baseball. One of the best college head coaches in the country. And I ran into Dan McDonnell in Chatham, Massachusetts, when Reid was starting that night on the summer of 2018. And this was after Reid was like their midweek guy, like he was starting Tuesday, Wednesday games, but you knew he was going to be in the rotation. And this was a guy that could be a draft pick for him, who knew that he was going to go 10th overall. But, you know, I asked him, I said, listen, this guy is from like outside of Springfield, Illinois. Like, it's not often that you get up there and go see a guy that shoves. What, as the head coach of the University of Louisville, propelled you to go to middle of nowhere, Illinois, and find this guy, Reid Detmers? And I was expecting something, you know, fluffy, like, well, we thought his command was impeccable and he dazzled at some showcases and stuff. He cracked this huge smile and just said, curveball, curveball. That's why I wanted him. And I was like, oh, that's a good answer there. And you saw it on full display.
I have something to throw at you. Watching him last night, the curveball looks a lot like Julio Urias' curveball. Big and loopy, the way he can locate it. That's just eye test. It looked very similar. The shape of it, how he was locating it. That's what it looked like to me.
Okay, so you know what it looks like? It looks like, you know, Kershaw's, right? It looks like Liberators, where you have that big, slow curveball that has a ton of vertical movement, and it's as close to a true 12-6 curveball as you got without being Adam Wainwright's. And it doesn't have the bite of Waino's, because that's what made Waino elite. But Clayton Kershaw, that curveball's not, that has never been his best pitch. It was just his most pretty pitch. Detmers has that as a good pitch. You know what I mean? Like the slider and the changeup and the fastball have all been better than the curveball for Clayton Kershaw throughout the entirety of his career. It's just the most aesthetically pleasing pitch to watch. So I think that's what you're getting at. Kershaw has it. Urias has it. Matthew Liberatore has it in the Cardinals system, and Reid Detmers has it, and he used it to throw a no-hitter.
Kind of phenomenal. Should we talk about the fact that the Yankees walked it off against the Blue Jays last night? Actually, 2 nights ago, now that we're recording on Wednesday, to be released on Thursday, and they're currently playing the Blue Jays right now. This is one of the best series of the year so far.
Yeah, so I texted you about this, and I was thinking, like, if anything comes close in the early goings of this year to the fanfare that we got for Dodgers Padres last year, and Arm and I talked about that on Monday, right? That was, Jeff Passan wrote a whole article about that. This feels like the series. It's not Dodgers Padres again. It's not Dodgers Giants. I mean, it's not even like Mets, whoever. It's Yankees Blue Jays. That's what that feel is, and I think a lot of that has to do with the success that the Yankees have had in the early goings.
It's incredible. And we talked about, the negative run differentials. Maybe the Blue Jays have a -11 right now, but the Blue Jays are still one of the best teams in baseball. And the fact that it's so closely fought between these two teams, and Aaron Judge, that was his first walk-off hit. Did you know that, Jack? First walk-off hit came to the league in 2017. That was his first 450-foot jack, 112 miles an hour off the bat. It was one of the biggest win probability added hits of the season because they were down 2 outs. Aaron Judge, bang. Now that I think about it, I don't know if it was 2 outs exactly, but I know because it was 1 out because Trevino walked, then LeMahieu got on, and then Judge. That's 1 out. I was watching every second, and I was just, and now they're playing right now. It's one of the most entertaining, and it's not just due to the Yankees. It's 2 teams that will see each other in the playoffs because the Rays are great, and they're probably going to make the wild card too. But I'm really, it's Yankees and Blue Jays at the top of this division.
Yeah, as we record now, it's 5-2 New York in the top of the 7th inning. Gleyber Torres had a 3-run homer that just cleared the short porch and right.
Why'd you have to say that? I hate that. That's my least favorite thing about all of baseball is the fact that people make fun of the Yankee short porch. It's like both teams are playing at the same stadium. There's other stadiums across baseball that are even smaller. It's just that short porch. Yankees know how to get to it, and you can play at it too. That's so annoying. It's so
okay, but they play 81 games there every year, where other teams play like max 18.
That's true. What about the Red Sox at Fenway hitting doubles off the Green Monster? They even have a shorter porch.
That's fine. Too. Park factor. But you bring up park factor, right? With the Rockies, you always put an asterisk on their guys' individual accolades because thin air, right? So you can listen. That was a homer in 7 of 30 major league ballparks. I'm just stating a fact here. So 6 other ballparks, it's gone. Fair.
All right.
But 7 of 30 major league ballparks. They're up 5-2 right now. And this is the type of series that can warrant Vladimir Guerrero Jr. snapping a bat over his knee on a Wednesday afternoon.
Really?
Not many series can do that.
In a day game, snapping it over his leg in a day game. That's
on a Wednesday, not even a Sunday.
It's a Wednesday. That's another good point. A Wednesday day game. And that's how fired up, because this feels like those classic Yankee Red Sox rivalries. As the Red Sox have started to tail off a little bit, the Blue Jays are really taking full throttle of this. And now this is really and you can tell these two teams have animosity, with Charlie Montoyo getting thrown out of the game yesterday because they went up and in on Bo Bichette on accident. It was Jonathan Loáisiga. It looked to me clearly on accident, but I don't. And then the manager's getting thrown out. It's just a heated series.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. And like, you can circle the starting pitching matchups as well. Like you say, Kikuchi had some intrigue there. And earlier today, who was it? Was it Tyone and Barrios?
Tyone and Barrios.
That's a very fun matchup. And Barrios looked good until that Gleyber home run.
But that's the thing, Barrios right now. That's what could keep the Blue Jays from being incredibly elite, because at the beginning of the season, we're looking at Barrios as one of the better pitchers in the American League, but he hasn't been performing like that. So now with Yusei Kikuchi, he's hit or miss, and Ryu's still on the shelf. And, Pearson doesn't look like he's going to make a big impact in the rotation this year. Maybe he does, maybe at the end of the year, but at least not right now. That's the only trouble with the Blue Jays right now, because Jordan Romano gave up that home run, but I have full faith that he's still an elite closer. That happened to be a blow up game from a guy like Aaron Judge when he didn't have his best stuff that day, but he's still elite.
Yeah. You need a third. You absolutely need a third. And Gausman is Gausman's best pitcher in baseball right now. Manoah is one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. You need Barrios to show up. You don't even need him to be Max Barrios. You need him to be 70% of Barrios. And right now he's not even sniffing 70%.
Right now he's like 25% of Jose Barrios.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
That's why the Yankees are ahead in this division, because they're firing on all cylinders. The rotation, if we're talking about a 3, Garrett Cole's still at the front. He's been pitching well. Tyon has looked good. Jordan Montgomery has an ERA below 3. Nestor Cortez is, you say Kevin Gausman is the best pitcher in baseball? Nestor Cortez might be the best pitcher in baseball, really. And then when we're talking bullpens, the Yankees have a better bullpen. And when the Yankees offense is hot, it can toy around with the Blue Jays. Right now, on paper, eye test, by the numbers, Yankees are the best team in baseball with the Dodgers.
Ryan Pepio just made his MLB debut yesterday. Pepio, the Indianapolis native and the Butler University alum. Pepio was pretty solid. Went 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs. He did walk 5, gross, but he struck out 3, and the changeup looked really good.
Watching his start, you see ace stuff, but then you see 5 command. The command wasn't there today. The changeup moves like nobody's business, just around the zone. It's diving out of the box from lefty. I mean, they're just flailing at it. Major league pitchers against a rookie pitcher on the road. You could tell they couldn't touch if he just threw it in the zone. That's the thing with Ryan Pepio. Once he figures out how to command within the strike zone, this guy has ace potential. He's 95 to 96 with one of the best changeups right now in base. That changeup is unfreaking believable.
Do you really think ace
stuff?
I think he's a really good middle of the rotation guy. If it all pans out.
What I saw today looked like ace stuff. If he could just command that within his zone, and that's not a given too, because he's had command issues in the minor leagues, and now he showed in his first start 5 walks. Do I think he's going to become an ace? No, but when I see the stuff, it looks like ace stuff to me.
Okay, I can hear you on that. What I was really impressed by him was his ability to put out fires. So, in the early goings, I think it was the 2nd inning, might have been the 3rd inning. But Pepio loaded the bases, again, command issues, but then he buckled down and struck out Brian Reynolds with the bases loaded. That's big from a guy in his major league debut. And granted, you're in Pittsburgh, you're playing the Pirates on a Wednesday afternoon. It's not that high leverage, but it is high leverage in your major league debut. It does not matter if you're facing the Pirates on a Wednesday afternoon or you're at Yankee Stadium on Friday night.
I mean, we're also talking about, I love to fade rookie pitchers on the road. Like when I make my MLB best bets, that's like one of my favorite things. So, and you say it's the Pirates, and I know, but on the road on your first start, I don't care who it is. Those are big league hitters. That's Brian Reynolds, perennial all-star. Like that's a real at bat, and the fact that he got him just like that. And it's also, Jack, it's not that he's just getting these guys out, making major league batters look silly as a rookie on the road in your first start.
Yeah.
That's what caught my eye.
And it only went 3. We'll see him get stretched out a little bit more if he stays up. But we will see what the Dodgers' plan is there. But going to the other LA team again, before we get to that Detmers interview, Anthony Rendon, again, Brent Phillips on the mound. Anthony Rendon switched to hit left-handed. This guy has never hit left-handed before in any, professional or college baseball game ever. And he hit a home run. I don't think people understand how stupidly athletic that is.
Yeah, someone responded to me on Twitter too when I tweeted that out. It's like as if we needed another reminder to how elite some of these big league batters are. I know Brett Phillips is throwing 55 miles an hour down the middle, like barely just chucking it in there. But to have the stones to do that, also, who let him do that? I know it was down, but Anthony Rendon said, I can go up lefty right now.
I've seen some guys do that before.
Like once every couple of years though.
Yeah. So that was that, type of thing. And
True.
Rendon, I think he was just dicking around. Like, listen, Anthony Rendon already got his payday. He doesn't need the home run to boost arbitration numbers.
He doesn't care anymore.
No, he doesn't care.
True. Why? Well, I mean, you're up 11-0, like might as well hit lefty. And then you just showed it's like, maybe I can do it again. Now he's just having fun.
That's the thing. So like when Willians Astudillo was on the mound last year and Yermin Mercedes swung 3-0 and hit that home run, like that
I'm still
actually
mad at him.
matters. That matters for Yermin Mercedes because he can say, I hit 20 home runs this year instead of 19 when he goes to his arbitration hearing. For Rendon, he already robbed the Angels of all their worth. He does not need to prove anything. He doesn't need to up the home run total by 1. So he just flipped around. He was having a good time. And he just proved that he is just another superhuman professional athlete.
I'm just glad that it seems like it really is the Angels' year. I'm not saying that they're, a shoe-in to win the division or anything, but, I've just been preaching, if not now, when? And it's apparently now, because the rotation has looked great. The offense is so loaded. With Taylor Ward hitting the way it is, this is one of the most lethal lineups in the game. And the bullpen has been fine-ish, but they have a lot of talented arms back there. We got to give Aaron Loup some credit now, because this is now like a couple seasons in a row where he's rocking an ERA in the ones. He's one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball, or at least he's pitching like it, and he has been since the beginning of 2021.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm telling you, man, Perry Manassian did everything right.
He did.
With the Angels this offseason.
Really did. Killed it. And the Angels are now back, and it's just so fun watching Trout, watching Shohei Ohtani. It's such a fun team to enjoy. Finally, they're in the limelight instead of we're just watching a Shohei Ohtani lineup with a bunch of garbage sprinkled in the middle of it. Now it's Trout, it's Jared Walsh, and it's just the crew, and they look great.
And that's the thing. Like, they can option a struggling Joe Adell down because they just have better players now.
We talked about it on yesterday's Just Baseball show. It was Arm and I, and we said that the Angels should possibly look at trading Joe Adell for maybe in a bigger package for Luis Castillo, or try and get Tyler Mahle from them.
Yeah. I think I'd prefer Castillo.
Joe Adell could be just a change of scenery away from unlocking that, elite profile that he has of a 4 or 5 tool guy. Maybe just needs to get out of Los Angeles, and you get Tyler Mahle at a Great American Ballpark. That's only going to do well for him.
So I'm actually thinking Castillo, because Castillo looked really good in his first regular season start. And I saw him in his last rehab appearance, and he looked really good there as well.
I think it might take more than Adell, though, to get Luis Castillo.
That's fine. I think Adell as the headliner still gets it done, especially because Castillo, I think this is the final year, or maybe he has one more year
of control.
One more year of control. Okay. You guys went over that yesterday, but how about that? Joe Adell is from Louisville, Kentucky. That's about an hour and a half from Cincinnati. That would be perfect for him if Adell went to Cincinnati and they got Luis Castillo back. And the Angels have enough organizational fillers to make that deal get done without relinquishing any other impact guys aside from Adell. So I like that. Adell to Cincinnati is the headliner for a Luis Castillo package.
Not too bad. We're getting the mock trades going on May 12th.
Yeah,
it's a little early, but we did them yesterday too. So technically we started on May 11th.
Well, and Cincinnati's beating the shit out of Milwaukee right now on YouTube Live.
Are they starting to get going?
No.
We about to witness like a 2-game win streak? 2-game win streak?
Maybe. Yeah, they're going streaking.
All right, think about this. I have a hypothetical for it. Or not a hypothetical, just straight up question. Over under 3.5 games. Longest win streak for the Reds this year.
Over.
Okay. So you think they win 4 or 5 in a row?
Dude, it's really hard not to win 4 or 5 in a row. In an 162 game season, it's very hard not to do that.
That's a sweep and then another game.
They might do it.
They might do it. I'd be interested to see how that ends up.
Listen, if they run into Stroman, Hendricks, Justin Steele, they could sweep that series.
They're not beating Justin Steele. The Reds can't hit a lefty to save their life. That's the thing. They're going to run into a lefty. They'll lose.
I don't know. I gotta think about the scenario.
You're going to face a lefty every 4 days, more likely than not.
They just got to Adrian Hauser, though, who's right-handed, but good, like actually has talent.
But it has bad numbers against the Reds historically. Colin Moran is like 9 for 15 off Adrian Hauser in his career. That's something.
Colin Moran is sick.
It's funny. I look at all the stats in the morning, just like hitter versus pitcher stats every morning. Colin Moran has great stats off everybody. It's crazy. He does.
But he doesn't have great stats as a collective. Yeah.
I don't understand. It's been the past like 5 or 6 days. Who's at the top of the Reds leaderboard? Oh, Colin Moran's 6 for 9, or he's 6 for 12, or he's 5 for 10. He's just hitting 500 off all these pitchers. I'm like, where are the hits? I missed them. I totally missed them.
Amen. All right. Plug all the socials right now.
Give us a follow on Instagram at Just Baseball Fans, and of course TikTok as well. And if you want to join our baseball group chat, click the chalkboard link in the episode description. We're talking baseball all day long on that. Also, download the Loop app. It helps us out, but it's also going to help you out. You just get $20 free just for clicking the link, and you get $20 to just open packs. And it was funny. I was talking on the TikTok live today. And I was like, why am I even trying to like sell the Loop app right now? You click on it, and every single person who downloads thinks to themselves, this app is sick. You don't even have to spend money if you don't want to. I just sometimes go in and just watch the breaks because I just genuinely enjoy it. And then you also just get $20 for clicking the link and having it on your phone if you want to buy cards.
I also like the sound of the plastic wrap being ripped off the cards.
It has made me be more of a card collector in that way. Just like it makes you like cards more. It's just such a fun app as well. Download Prize Picks as well. Use code JustBaseball for deposit match on Prize Picks. You can see that in the episode link description as well. We're rolling, Jack. We're absolutely rolling. I got nothing else to plug except my Twitter at PeterApple23. You're Jack_McMullen11. That's what we got.
What else? Anything else? Merch. Get your Just Baseball merch.
Oh, my juice is over there. I was gonna pitch a juice, but
screw it.
All right.
With that,
thank you, everybody.